Hey friends, okay, so I want to talk about the best Catholic devotions that there are. There are so many, and I'm going to talk about my favorite Catholic devotions. There's going to be, I think, 7 of them, right? Yeah, 7. And so I know there's so many more. So definitely down below, write what your favorite Catholic devotions are, because maybe something connects with me, but there are other devotions that connect with you, and other people might connect with them as well. So please share them down below. Let's get into it. So devotions, I should say, are kind of like a specific, like you're gearing in on kind of one thing that will hopefully bring you closer to God. Like that is kind of the purpose of what a devotion is. Ultimately, the Holy Mass is a sacrament, and confession. They will help you tremendously in your spiritual walk to get to God. Because ultimately confession is where you're cleaning your soul, and then the Mass is where Jesus is in your body, like he is living and dwelling within you. So highly recommend going to confession and Mass as often as possible. You can do both of these daily if you wanted to. So that is by far the quickest way to heaven, to getting closer to God, to getting closer to living a peaceful, wonderful life. So start off there, but I will say the first one is pretty awesome. So it is the Liturgy of the Hours. So this is something that I actually don't know how to pray it, but there's an app that my husband has told me about, and it is amazing. It is ridiculous. And every time that I listen to Liturgy of the Hours, so I'm just receiving, it is a book, like you can, a lot of priests and religious, that is what they do as a community. A lot of them is they pray Liturgy of the Hours, so several times a day. I have an iPhone, so I think there are several ways you can get this. I know it is on YouTube as well, so I know that everybody who's watching this can get that. But I highly recommend, if you don't have the book Liturgy of the Hours, which I don't know how to pray those, to be honest, but because I know like there's a lot of like jumping around, and I've done it before, but I've done it with religious, and so they kind of lead it and show me what to do. But this is so good. It's like he's chanting, and it is so good. I mean, especially in today's world where it is crazy, a little bit crazy, to sit and just to dwell and listen, it's so good. And I want to say that these are about 20 minutes long. Yeah, about 15, 20 minutes long. But I cannot tell you enough how amazing this is. And so anyway, definitely go there. He's not sponsoring this or anything like that. My husband told me about this. I shared it on Instagram or on YouTube community a while ago, and you all like loved it. So anyway, so that's the first devotion that I highly recommend. It is the Liturgy of the Hours. There is a book, I'll link that below. But if you just want to that's like, this podcast is totally free, so that's the way to go if you if you're low on funds. But you can always follow along too. I guess that's an option. Okay, and if you've been watching my YouTube channel for any amount of time, you know I love the Holy Rosary. This is life-changing, game-changing, so powerful, so amazing to so many people that I've met, including my life. I know the days that I pray the Rosary that my life is different compared to those that I don't. I have so much more peace. I have so much more grace. And throughout the Rosary, so many prayers have been answered. And so I love this, because this is a way that we're praying with Mary, like in a very specific way, to her son Jesus. And she will do nothing but bring us to her son. That is her only mission. Her only goal is to bring us to the Heavenly Father, the Holy Spirit, and her son. She wants us all with her in heaven, and through the Rosary is one way. The other way, which is Marian as well, is the first Saturdays. I've done a whole video on this, and Our family is doing this right now, and we hope to do it till the day we die. But the first Saturday of every month, I'll link that video because it goes much more in depth, and like kind of what happened, because this is like Mary presented it to Fatima, to the 3 children of Fatima, and then Jesus appeared the next day and explained why. So that, like, to me, told me so much that this was ordained by God. You know, obviously it is, but like that kind of like solidifies it. And so what it is like you're pretty much you're comforting the sorrows of Mary. She has 5 sorrows, and you're comforting them, and there's great promises that happen. And the main one is if you do this devotion, that Mary will be with you on your deathbed. Like, she will be there fighting for you, because on your like your last hour of death, they say that is when Satan tries to convince you that you are not worthy of God, you are not worthy of heaven, and you know, tries to take away what God is given to you, if that makes sense. But she will be there to fight for you, and that's huge. And I will say, I did do the first 5 Saturdays, and I've never done this before where I feel different, but I legit felt different when I finished. Like, there was like this spiritual high that I received, and to think that there's a good chance I will get to heaven, you know, like there's always like this, I don't know, like, did Mother Teresa just barely get into heaven, or did she get into heaven no problem? Like, those are questions I think about quite often. But this was one where I'm like, Mary is going to help me my entire life, to help me to get to heaven. Like, that is so beautiful and so wonderful. So those are 2 like Marian devotions that I absolutely love. The Miraculous Medal is the other one. The promises that Mary will help you are amazing. And I've heard, I mean, I have a video on just this devotion, the Miraculous Medal. You should go back and, well, you can watch it, but read the comments, because story after story after story are stories of people who have had legit miracles happen while wearing this. And it's called the Miraculous Medal because so many miracles have happened, so many conversions have happened through the Miraculous Medal. It needs to be blessed by a priest, and then it's almost like this shield around you, right? Like, Mary, you're wrapped in her mantle, and she is going to protect you, lead you, guide you. And it's like you're wrapped in your mother's arms when you wear this. And I honestly feel so safe knowing that I have my Miraculous Medal on. I'm good. Like, Mary crushes the head of Satan. Satan does not like when you wear the Miraculous Medal or the brown scapular for that. I have a whole video on the brown scapular as well. Okay, another extremely powerful devotion is the Divine Mercy Chaplet. I have done a video on this. I think I've done a video on all these except for the Liturgy of the Hours, which is amazing. But so if you want to learn how to pray the Divine Mercy Chaplet, I'll link that video down below as well. But you pretty much take a rosary, and it's a lot quicker than the actual rosary. The Divine Mercy Chaplet is probably half the time. And usually people pray it at the 3 o'clock hour. You can pray it whenever. I mean, it's very powerful. But Jesus died at the 3 o'clock hour. So we're praying, and we're remembering the suffering he did, and we're begging God for mercy. And so we are begging God for mercy upon us, but also our world and our country and our homeland. And so the Divine Mercy Chaplet is extremely powerful. This prayer is so good. So St. Faustina's, Jesus appeared to her and told her about this. And so she has a whole diary, which is amazing. It's like this thick, very, very interesting. And she talks to Jesus regularly. And so you get to hear all about her interactions with Jesus, and it's phenomenal, actually. So I highly recommend the Divine Mercy, and also reading the diary is a great one. Okay, another devotion that I have heard a lot about lately is the 7 sorrows. And so there's 2 different 7 sorrows from my understanding. So there's one 7 sorrows where you pray one Hail Mary, and you reflect on the 7 sorrows of Mary. And so I have that video. I will link that down below because I actually pray that one. It's very, very short. So if you're like, I only have like 3 minutes to pray a devotion a day, that is a good one because you're reflecting on the things that really truly brought Mary such sorrow. So this is like, and Simeon at the presentation told Mary this would happen, that she was going to have such sorrow. And so these are her sorrows. All right, and the last devotion I would say for me is the Saint Therese devotion. My mom, when I was little, was a rock star mom. She taught the saints to us. She wanted us to learn about the saints, and because of that, it made me want to be a saint because I saw all these courageous men and women, and they lived all so differently. And I just fell in love with Saint Therese of the Little Flower. And so I learned a novena that she, when I was a little girl, and I still remember it to this day. So she, like, that's one of the devotions I really enjoy. And I love her so much. I love her simplicity. I love her humility. She is just one of those saints that she has Story of a Soul. She actually wrote that, and she's one of the doctors of the saints. And I think I don't think she was very educated. Same with Saint Faustina. I don't think neither of them were very educated, but God did amazing things with their life. And Saint Therese, her readings are just phenomenal, out of this world, and they're just so simple. They're not hard, but they're so deep and profound. And so I highly recommend, well, reading that book because she is a doctor of the church, but also learn about her and live her life, live the way that she would have. Anyway, those, in my opinion, are the 7 best devotions. I hope that you will share down below what yours are. And until next time, I will see you all later. God bless. Bye.